Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something that can change your life, not next year, not next month, not even next week, but tonight. There is one habit that if you embrace it will shift your mindset, your results, and your reality overnight. Now listen to me, change doesn't take time, it takes a decision. You don't need more hours in your day. What you need is a habit that aligns your life with your purpose. One decision, fully embraced, can create momentum that will carry you further than years of procrastination ever could. The habit I'm talking about is commanding your morning with intentional declarations of who you are, what you believe, and where you're going. Before the world wakes up and starts pulling at your attention, before your phone starts buzzing with messages that are urgent but not important, before the enemy of your purpose even has a chance to speak, you speak first. Because if you don't set the tone for your day, someone else will. The most successful people don't react to life, they create it. And how do they create it? With words. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every single morning, before you check your phone, before you look at your emails, before you let someone else's voice enter your atmosphere, you must speak life over yourself. You say, I am powerful, I am purposeful, I am aligned with God's will for my life. Opportunities are chasing me down. Favor surrounds me like a shield. Everything I touch today will prosper. That's not wishful thinking, that's strategic planting. See, the problem is most people wait until life hits them to speak faith, but by then the enemy already has a head start. If you want to change your life, you have to speak before you struggle. Speak when everything looks fine. Speak when nothing's happening. Speak as if the breakthrough is already here. That's called faith, and faith without works is dead. So don't just speak, walk like it's already done. Let your posture match your proclamation. Let your actions confirm your agreement with what you declared. This habit will shift how you move, how you respond, how you build. And here's the key. When you combine this habit with intentional gratitude, the transformation is immediate. I'm not talking about thank you when things go right. I'm talking about choosing gratitude when everything looks wrong. Why? Because gratitude is not emotional, it's spiritual. It says, I trust the outcome even when I can't trace the process. People ask, how do I increase my faith? The answer is, open your mouth, speak your vision daily, rehearse it like your life depends on it, because it does. If you don't rehearse your future, you will repeat your past. What you say every morning should be so bold that it scares small-minded people. Your declarations should agitate your comfort zone. Your vision should make average uncomfortable in your presence. And when you combine these declarations with faithful action, that's when the heavens open. That's when doors appear where there used to be walls. That's when people start asking, what changed? And you'll say, I did. The moment I decided to command my morning, I stopped waiting for life to change. I started creating the life I was born to live. So if you hear nothing else I say today, hear this. Your future is waiting on your voice. Your breakthrough is listening for your command. Your destiny is unlocked by one habit, what you say when you first wake up. Do it with intention, do it with power, and do it every single day until the life you see in your mind is the one you're walking in. And when that day comes, and it will come, you won't be surprised. You'll simply say, I spoke this, I walked this, I lived this. Because that is the power of one habit that can change your life overnight. Decisions create destiny. That's not just a nice phrase, it's a spiritual law. A principle that governs the direction of your entire life. You are not the result of your environment, your past, or your circumstances. You are the result of the decisions you've made. Every breakthrough, every elevation, every next level begins with a decision. Not a wish, not a feeling, a decision. Wishes are weak, decisions carry weight. And when you make a true decision, one that cuts off every other option, The universe starts to rearrange itself to align with that choice. Most people don't live in decision, they live in indecision. And indecision is the breeding ground of doubt, fear, and stagnation. You can't move forward while you're standing in maybe. The moment you decide, truly decide that your life is going to be different, that you will no longer tolerate average, that you will no longer play small, everything begins to change. But here's the key. Decisions don't work until you take ownership. Ownership means you stop blaming, you stop waiting, you stop hoping for rescue and realize you are the rescuer. When you accept that your decisions shape your destiny, you stop negotiating with your excuses. Destiny doesn't respond to potential, it responds to purpose backed by decisions. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you keep choosing comfort over calling, delay over discipline, and safety over strategy, your potential becomes a prison. So on the flip side, one bold decision made in clarity, declared with conviction, followed by committed action, can break generational curses. It can redefine what's possible in your bloodline. It can set a new standard for what your children expect from life. Let me tell you something real. Your future doesn't need more time, it needs more truth. And truth says you are one decision away from a completely different life. Not because the decision is magical, but because it sets direction. It creates alignment. And direction, not intention, determines your destination. So if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. Make the decision, speak it, move on it, live like your destiny depends on it, because it does. Command your morning, command your life. That's not a motivational phrase, it's a divine strategy. The first moments of your day are not casual, they are critical. They are spiritual real estate. And whoever owns your morning owns your mind, your momentum, and ultimately your mission. Most people wake up and immediately give their power away. They reach for their phones, scroll through social media, check emails, and start reacting to the world before they've even had a chance to declare who they are. That's not ownership. That's surrender. And you cannot lead your life from a place of reaction. The truth is, your morning is not just about routine. It's about rulership. It's about authority. When you wake up and declare your intentions, your beliefs, your purpose, and your vision, you don't just prepare for the day, you prophesy it. You tell the day who you are and how it will serve you, not the other way around. This is not just a mindset issue, it's a kingdom principle. In the beginning, God spoke, and what he spoke became. That same power is in your mouth. When you speak over your day with intention, you activate alignment. You set your spirit in agreement with your destiny. Because let's be honest, if you don't speak over your day, the enemy will. He'll speak anxiety into your mind before breakfast. He'll whisper failure before your feet hit the floor. He'll fill your head with distractions, doubts, and discouragement before you've even had a chance to remember who you are. But when you command your morning, you shut that down. You say, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will dominate. I will execute. I will walk in excellence because I am assigned and anointed to do so. That's not hype. That's authority. And when you do this consistently, your life starts to move in rhythm with your declarations. Doors open differently. People respond differently. Opportunities show up that were always there, but now you're aligned to see them. Your energy shifts. Your confidence grows. Your clarity sharpens. Commanding your morning is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about taking 5, 10, 15 minutes to set the tone, to get in alignment, and to speak with boldness, because when your words are in order, your world follows. So the question is not what's going to happen today. The real question is, what are you going to say about today? Because the one who commands the morning commands the mission. And the one who commands the mission wins the day and eventually the life. Speak before you struggle. It's not just advice, it's a strategy for victory. Most people wait until life hits them to open their mouth. They wait until the pressure shows up, until the crisis arrives, until the storm is raging, then they want to speak faith. But by that time, the battle has already started and they're playing catch up with their own fear. See, the problem is not that people don't have faith. The problem is they don't activate it until they're already under attack. And let me tell you something. If you're only speaking power when you're in pain, you're always going to live behind. Because your words are not just comfort, they are construction. What you say today builds what you stand on tomorrow. You've got to learn how to preload your spirit. You've got to speak when it's quiet. Speak when everything looks normal. Speak when nothing seems to be happening, because what you're doing in those moments is planting truth that will rise up and fight for you when struggle tries to take you out. Think about it. You don't build a shelter in the middle of a storm. You build it before the clouds roll in. You don't sharpen your sword when the enemy is charging. You sharpen it in the stillness, so when the battle comes, you're ready. That's what speaking does. It prepares you, it arms you, it surrounds you with a spiritual infrastructure that keeps you grounded when life gets shaky. Your words are seeds, and struggle reveals what you've been planting. If you've been speaking doubt, fear, and worry in the good times, that's what will grow when things get tough. But if you've been speaking purpose, power, and identity when life is calm, that's what will rise up when the struggle shows up. Speak before you struggle. Say, I am built for this. I am unshakable. I am favored. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I walk in wisdom. I operate in strategy. I move in divine timing. You don't wait until your back is against the wall to say that. You say it every morning, every day, until your spirit believes it and your circumstances align with it. When you do that, struggle doesn't catch you off guard. You meet it with confidence, not confusion. You walk into it with a weapon already drawn, your voice, your declaration, your authority. And what would have knocked you down before now has to bow to what you already spoke. That's why you don't wait to see the storm. You speak before it comes. You don't wait for the attack. You speak before it launches. Because when you speak ahead of the struggle has to respect your preparation. The world will call it confidence, but what it really is kingdom. The habit of intentional gratitude is one of the most powerful spiritual weapons you will ever wield, not because it changes your circumstances instantly, but because it transforms you instantly. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the perfection of purpose, even in the middle of imperfection. Let me make something clear. Gratitude is not a reaction, it's a decision. Most people are only thankful when they get what they want, when things are working, when prayers are answered the way they expected. That's not intentional gratitude, that's emotional convenience. But if you want to live at a higher level, you've got to train your spirit to be thankful on purpose, even when your feelings don't line up. Intentional gratitude says, I'm not waiting for the breakthrough to feel blessed. I am the blessing, and I recognize the good even in the grind. It's not about ignoring problems. It's about magnifying what's already working so you don't get swallowed up by what's not. It's easy to see lack, easy to find reasons to complain, but gratitude is a decision to zoom in on the gain instead of the gap. And here's the truth. What you magnify, you multiply. When you focus on what's missing, you create more lack. But when you focus on what's present, what's good, what's possible, you expand your capacity to receive more. Gratitude is like a signal to heaven that says, I'm ready for increase because I can already recognize what I have. This is not just positive thinking, it's alignment. It gets your emotions in agreement with your vision. It disciplines your mind to stop waiting on external validation and start celebrating internal growth. You start saying things like, thank you for the strength to endure. Thank you for the lesson in the loss. Thank you that this delay is developing something deeper in me. That's the kind of gratitude that makes demons nervous, because it means you've learned to rejoice before the reward. When you build a habit of intentional gratitude, you start to see how rich you already are. You stop comparing, you stop complaining, you start living from a place of abundance, not lack. And when you do that, your energy shifts, your language shifts, your faith grows. You become a magnet for miracles, not because you begged for them, but because you were bold enough to be thankful in advance. Gratitude isn't passive, it's powerful, it's prophetic. And when you practice it with intention, every single day, you unlock a level of peace, clarity, and provision that reactionary living can never produce. Gratitude is how you turn what you have into more than enough. Gratitude is how you win even when it looks like you're still waiting. Vision must be verbalized daily, not once, not when you feel inspired, every single day. If you can't speak it, you'll never see it. If you don't declare it, you'll delay it. Because vision isn't just something you write down in a notebook once a year. Vision is something you breathe into your life daily with your words. Most people have a vision that's vague, passive, and silent. They keep it locked in their minds, hoping somehow the pieces will come together on their own. But let me tell you the truth. A silent vision is a stalled vision. What you refuse to verbalize, you subconsciously give yourself permission to forget. But what you declare, you reinforce. And what you reinforce becomes a new reality. You become what you rehearse, and every day that you wake up and speak your future, you are not just motivating yourself, you are programming your identity. You are aligning your beliefs, your behavior, and your body with the person you are becoming. You are reminding your spirit, your mind, and your atmosphere that you're not just surviving, you're building something by design. And let's be clear, the repetition is not a waste, it's warfare. Every time you say, I am successful, I am disciplined, I am wealthy in wisdom, in peace, in impact, you are fighting back against the lies that the world, your past, and your old self try to tell you. You are silencing doubt with declaration. Some people think verbalizing your vision daily is just hype. No, it's alignment. The world will give you 1,000 reasons a day why it won't work, why you're not enough, why it's too late. But your words are your response to that resistance. They are your evidence that you're not just hoping for change, you are co-creating it with every breath. If you can talk about the problem all day, you can talk about the promise all day. You already know how to speak. What you need is discipline around what you speak. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be poetic, but you do need to be clear and committed. You say what you see until you see what you said. And when you do this consistently, you begin to notice something. Decisions become easier. Doubt becomes quieter. Distractions lose their grip. Why? Because your daily declarations build focus. They create a filter through which you process everything else. Your vision becomes the lens. And if it doesn't align, it doesn't belong. So don't just dream your vision. Don't just write it. Speak it daily. Speak it when you don't feel it. Speak it when you're tired. Speak it when nothing around you looks like it's working. Because that's not pretending. That's preparing. Your words are the blueprint. Your faith is the foundation. And when you speak your vision every day, you're not just changing your mindset, you're constructing your future in real time. Act as if it's already done. That's not pretending, that's positioning. That's the mindset of faith, not fantasy. It's the behavior of someone who knows that manifestation doesn't start when the result shows up. It starts the moment you believe enough to move. Most people are waiting for confirmation before they commit. They want to see the money before they move like a millionaire. They want to see the opportunity before they prepare like it's already theirs. They want to wait for proof. But real transformation happens when you act like it's already done, because you've already decided it is. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment. It means you start showing up like the person your vision requires. even when your environment hasn't caught up yet. You walk with confidence, not because everything is in place, but because your faith is in position. You operate with discipline, not because you've arrived, but because you understand that how you move now is what brings the promise here. When you act as if it's already done, your actions start to prophesy. Your behavior begins to signal to your mind, your body, and your surroundings that you are no longer living by sight, you're living by strategy. You're no longer reacting to circumstances, you're commanding them to follow your lead. People might not understand you. They'll say, why are you moving like that? Why are you building like that? You don't have the money yet. You don't have the title yet. You don't have the audience yet. But what they don't realize is you do have it. You have the vision, you have the clarity, you have the instruction. And when God gives you the word, you move. Because faith without works is dead. And speaking it without walking it is spiritual lip service. Acting as if it's already done means you build the structure before the blessing arrives. You set the table before the guests show up. You write the speech before the stage appears. Why? Because you know what's coming is already yours. It just hasn't caught up to you yet. You don't shrink to match your current level. You stretch to match your next one. You dress like it. You speak like it. You invest like it. You carry yourself like the doors are already open, because in the spirit they are. And your behavior brings that reality into the natural. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for signs that it's time. Move like it's done. Praise like it's done. Plan like it's done. Build like it's done. Because when you act as if it's already done, you collapse the distance between where you are and where you're called to be. It's not fake it till you make it. It's faith it until you manifest it. So hear me now. Your life doesn't change by accident. It changes by alignment. It changes when you decide that you're no longer waiting on the world to shift. You're becoming the shift. You've heard the truth. Decisions create destiny, and the first one you must make is to stop living like life is happening to you and start living like you're commanding it. You command your morning. You speak before the struggle. You choose intentional gratitude. You verbalize your vision daily. You act as if it's already done. These aren't motivational ideas. These are spiritual weapons. This is how you break cycles. This is how you break through. This is how you take territory in your life, your business, your calling. The one habit that will change your life overnight is this. You start living on purpose, speaking with power, and moving with prophetic certainty daily. Because once you train your mind to obey your vision and your words to serve your future, the world has no choice but to respond. No more delay. No more playing small. No more waiting for permission. From this moment forward, you speak it, you move like it, you live it. Because it's already yours. Now go claim it.